Welcome to the Los Angeles Auto Show. Here's a collection of the majority of model year 2020 and 2021 vehicles you'll see for sale at dealer lots next year. In this video, the Edmunds team is going to walk you through what you should know about these cars, trucks, and SUVs, at least the most important and most significant ones. As always, if there's a vehicle that you're interested in that isn't in this video, go to edmunds.com for more information. There you'll find your perfect car and how much you should pay for it.
Audi has been on a tear for the last couple years, redesigning everything in their portfolio. This year, they're going to be rolling out and filling out their lineup with higher performance S and RS variants. But they are bucking the SUV trend by reintroducing some wagons. In particular, the A6 Allroad is back. It offers the versatility of an SUV, but more driver engagement like a smaller car. The big news, though, is this mad dog, the RS6 Avant, with 600 horsepower and a matching six-figure price tag. It's an entirely different take on family hauling. Audi also brought a sportback version of the e-tron crossover. It brings with it all the goodness we like about the e-tron, but it takes a hit for practicality. This swooping rear roofline, it cuts into rear headroom by almost a full inch. There's also a pretty decent hit for cargo capacity too. But this shape is more aerodynamic and ends up gaining you about 10 miles of electric range. Also returning is my favorite Audi, the R8. For 2020, it gets a slight styling update, but it also gets a little bit of a horsepower bump for the base model. It is the best way to live out your Tony Stark fantasies.
Cool doors are still cool. The BMW i8, there's nothing quite like it on the road. It looks like a supercar and has the practicality of a supercar, but doesn't really have the performance of a supercar. It's a hybrid after all, with like an 18-mile EV range. For 2020, it comes in this unique limited edition color scheme, and whether you get it in the 2+2 configuration or the Roadster configuration like this one, you can be guaranteed that there's nothing quite else like it on the road today. Let's take a second and just appreciate how good this M8 looks. It's quite pretty indeed, and it's hard to deny the appeal of a vehicle quite like this. The 8 Series and 8 Series Grand Coupe, and that's what the M8 is based off of, is a very appealing car, as it should be for a vehicle whose price starts at around $150. If you step up to the competition package, you get around 617 horsepower, and the base car has 600 horsepower. Very stout. Of course, the performance potential of a large luxury sedan like this are kind of dubious. If you want something a little bit more nimble and a little bit more sports car minded, there's the M2 CS behind me. Weird name aside, the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe has effectively become BMW's entry-level sedan, and it's a pretty attractive one too, even if you think all BMWs need to be rear-wheel drive. This one's available with all-wheel drive and power ranging from 228 to 301 horsepower if you get the M235i variant like this one here. It could give the Mercedes-Benz A-Class, this luxury sedan that we like a lot, a run for its money. It's a weird thing to say, but we live in a world where finding a 600 horsepower luxury SUV is actually pretty easy now, and it's going to be even easier come next year with the addition of the X5M and the X6M. Standard guys, these things make 600 horsepower, but in their competition trim, they push that figure to 617 horsepower. If that's not ridiculous enough, the front wheels are 21 inches in diameter, the rears are 22s. What a world we live in, folks. This is the BMW X3 xDrive 30e, and that means it's the hybrid version of the X3. It goes on sale next year, and that's when we'll know more about its specs and figures for the United States. We do know now, though, it's based on the same motor, engine, and battery pack that you get in the 3 Series. That one's called the 330e. It's a bit less confusing. And it should come with a solid amount of EV-only range.
We've been seeing prototypes for a while, but now Bollinger is taking pre-orders with deliveries slated to begin sometime in 2021. This electric duo, the B2 truck and the B1 SUV, pack a ton of off-road features, removable doors, and some trick storage compartments. Think a big boxy Jeep Wrangler, but all electric and $125,000 to start. These are definitely niche vehicles, especially with Rivian bringing a more affordable electric truck and SUV to the market soon. but they sure look tough.
When you think of large three-row Cadillac SUVs, your mind probably wanders over to the Escalade, but you might want to consider the XT6. This new model from Cadillac starts at around mid $50,000 range and packs a lot of standard safety, comfort, and technology features as well. It's also pretty dang handsome. Pretty spacious inside, especially the third row, which can seat real full-size adults. Alas, the third row takes up a crucial bit of cargo space, so you got to decide whether you're going to haul family or cargo. Cadillac has two new luxury sedans, the CT4 and the CT5. If you can guess which one's the big one and which one's the small one, congratulations, you at least have a basic level of deductive reasoning. These are appealing vehicles, one, because they're attractive, two, because Cadillac's problem has never been driving dynamics, so we expect them to be fun to drive. Three, Cadillac's addressed some of the bigger problems we've had with previous models, which is interior quality, namely the center entertainment touchscreens, which were a bit of a nightmare. You also get access to Cadillac's Super Cruise, which on some freeways provides legit hands-free driving experience. Taken all together, these become a very compelling option among other luxury sedans.
The 2021 Chevy Colorado is slightly refreshed with some new looks up front and new lettering on the rear tailgate, but it's got the same platform, same powertrains, and same interior as before. And unfortunately for the Colorado and its GMC brother, the Canyon, they still have to do battle with off-road kings like the Jeep Gladiator and Toyota Tacoma and the extremely well-rounded Honda Ridgeline. The Chevy Silverado is one of the most capable and one of the most popular vehicles on sale in America today. For 2020, it gets some new tech features like adaptive cruise control and a trailering camera system that can support up to 15 cameras. And under the hood, if you want, you can now get a 3-liter diesel. But even though it's significantly improved, the Silverado still falls behind the Ram and the Ford in our overall rankings. An old name with a new face, the Chevy Trailblazer is a small SUV that fits in between the Trax and the larger Equinox. It'll hit U.S. shores next year with two small 3-cylinder powertrains and the choice of two trim levels, this kind of sporty-looking RS and the more outdoorsy-oriented Active. Prices are going to start just below $20,000, and the Trailblazer should come with an impressive list of standard features. This is one of the biggest debuts of the year. The Chevy Corvette has gone mid-engine. It gets a 6.2-liter V8, 495 horsepower, and a dual-clutch gearbox. It goes up against rivals that are nearly double the price, and it's quickly becoming one of our favorite sports cars. While the looks might be up for debate, the performance is definitely settled, and this is a Corvette for the history books.
The Chrysler Pacifica is our number 2 ranked minivan, thanks to its surprisingly sonorous V6 and excellent cargo flexibility because of those stow-and-go seats. Of course, those seats are a little less comfortable than some competitors. We also appreciate the plug-in hybrid version's 30-plus miles of all-electric range. For this year, the Voyager nameplate is making a return, but it's essentially just a base model of the Pacifica. Feature loadout is really the only difference. Sadly, there's no wood trim option.
For 2020, Dodge is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Challenger with a special anniversary edition. It's got anniversary badges, new wheels, unique interior options, and a brand new color. Appropriate for a golden jubilee, Dodge calls it Gold Rush. We think they should have called it Bananiversary. For 2020, Dodge is offering a wide body package on its Hellcat and Scat Pack. It adds 3.5 inches, which makes room for wider tires. Don't worry, you can still spin them. If you want a slimmer, less aggro Charger, there are plenty of trim options with the 6-cylinder and 5.7 Hemi, so you can still enjoy the comfortable interior, the excellent styling, and the great infotainment system that keeps the Charger a top 5 in our rankings.
By far, the biggest announcement from Ford is the all-new, all-electric Mustang Mach-E. This, however, is no muscle car. It's actually an SUV, about the size of a Ford Escape. It'll offer the choice of rear or all-wheel drive and 2 battery sizes. It'll be available beginning the fall of 2020 with prices starting around $40,000. If you want to know more about this vehicle, you can check out Edmunds Editor-in-Chief Alistair Weaver's excellent video walkaround. It's been a big year for Mustang, from the new Mach-E to the new high-performance package for the 4-cylinder EcoBoost, which makes it incredibly dynamic. Oh, and this subtle 760 horsepower Shelby GT500, it's new too, joining the Shelby GT350 flat plane crank V8. The Mustang is currently Edmunds' #1 ranked muscle car. Can't imagine why. The Escape has been overhauled for 2020, replete with sportier exterior styling, a roomier interior, and 4 new powertrains. 2 turbocharged engines, plus a hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant. The sportiest Escape, packing 250 horsepower, is estimated to return 26 miles per gallon combined, while the hybrid is rated at 41 miles per gallon with up to 30 miles of electric range if you opt for the plug-in version. There's a lot riding on this new Escape, since Ford will soon be getting out of the sedan-making business, which leaves just this and the extra small EcoSport in their entry-level vehicle portfolio. We were thrilled when we heard the all-new 2020 Explorer was returning to a rear-drive-based platform. For SUVs, that generally amounts to better towing and driving dynamics, which the new Explorer delivers in spades. What we weren't expecting was a comparatively high price. Prices range anywhere from the mid-30s to upper 50s, which is a bit hard to stomach when you see what the competition is offering for thousands less. The Expedition became our favorite non-luxury full-size SUV shortly after it was redesigned for 2018. It won us over with its exceptional passenger comfort, user-friendly tech, and its ability to tow over 9,000 pounds. For 2020, updates are rather light, with the biggest news being Ford's Copilot 360, which is a suite of advanced driver aids that's now standard across all Expedition trims. The Ranger was reintroduced to the US market last year to a mixed reception. For 2020, Ford is offering a new FX2 package on all rear-drive Rangers at any trim level. It includes an electronic locking diff, off-road tires, an off-road tuned suspension, an off-road screen within the gauge cluster, and body decals. Now for $595, that's a bargain. Sure, you don't get the advanced terrain management and trail control that you would in an FX4 package in an all-wheel drive Ranger like you see here, but you at least get the off-road looks and some of the capability for less than half the package cost.
The 2020 Genesis G90 looks pretty different on the outside, but under the skin, a lot stays the same. That's not actually a bad thing. The Genesis G90 is a big, plush luxury sedan with available executive seating in the back and a really excellent stereo. The new exterior design is handsome, and I mean, just check out these excellent wheels. On the inside, you'll find upgraded trim like some nice open pore wood and an infotainment system that now supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a welcome addition. And the Genesis G90 is significantly less costly than its top competitors.
Redesigned just a year ago, the GMC Sierra 1500 gets some significant tech updates for 2020. It's got available adaptive cruise control now, as well as a trailering camera system that supports up to 15 cameras. Under the hood, you can also now get a 3-liter diesel powertrain. And to top it all off, it wins our tailgate wars with the 6-way power-folding multi-pro rear tailgate. The Sierra 2500 is completely redesigned for 2020, and it uses its little brother, the 1500, as a template. It also gets the multi-pro rear tailgate, along with updated technology, an updated interior, and improved towing and hauling capability. Unfortunately for the 2500, it has really strong rivals like the Ram and the Ford, so it's got an uphill battle.
There are no significant changes for the Honda Accord in 2020, but that doesn't stop us from recommending this extremely well-executed sedan. It's stylish, fun to drive, and hits big with utility. A lot of its competitors have been updated or redesigned since this car came out, but the Accord still shines brightest in its class. The Honda Civic is Edmund's top-ranked small sedan, and yes, we know this is a two-door SI. We'll talk about that in a second. The Civic lineup gets small additions throughout the model range. For example, the hatchback gets additional sound deadening, and the SI, like this one here, gets a shorter final drive, which makes acceleration feel a bit more lively. With prices ranging between $20,000 to $30,000, there's a Civic for most shoppers, and all of them are an easy recommendation. The big addition to the Honda CR-V this year, we should mention too, it's our top-ranked small SUV, is a hybrid model. Now, we don't know much about the technical details yet, other than it uses the drivetrain of the Honda Accord hybrid. It has 212 horsepower, though fuel economy numbers haven't been released yet, but if we had to guess, it'd be around 40 mpg. The rest of the CR-V lineup has some nice additions too. Specifically, the base engine is no longer available, so all you have is the 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and that's the one we'd recommend anyway. The Honda Passport came out last year and quickly garnered a lot of attention from us. In fact, it's our top-ranked two-row midsize SUV, and for good reason. Essentially, it's a Honda Pilot without the third row and with a bit shorter length, so you get all the utility of that vehicle without, of course, the seating in a very compelling package. There are no new changes for 2020, and that's okay because it's still a really good car. The Honda Ridgeline carries over into next year largely unchanged, and it's still our #1 ranked midsize pickup truck. Wait, come back, look, we get it. If you're really angry because it's not a real truck, just get a Gladiator or get a Tacoma and bring it in, It's gonna be okay, breathe.
The 2020 Hyundai Kona is our top-rated extra small SUV for its peppy handling and acceleration, its comfortable interior, and user-friendly technology. The addition of adaptive cruise control for this year only makes it better. The one drawback, if maximum cargo capacity is your top priority, it might be worth checking out a competitor.